Hello everyone, I'm Skratch. Welcome to the channel. This will be a Dragonheir Silent Gods video. Today I want to talk about the top 10 best tips that you will need in order to succeed in Dragonheir Silent Gods. So it will be the top 10 best beginner tips, and we're gonna start with the very first one, guys. This is a bit more obvious and you should kind of like make it as a habit, and it's more of a ease of access sort of a tip. Use the journal for fast traveling in between locations, to keep a tab of everything that is happening on the daily routine. So basically, instead of just going on the map, scrolling around, moving up and down and wasting a lot of time every single day, just make it a habit to come to the journal, and you're going to be able to fast travel to the desired location by just doing 2 clicks. You have pretty much everything that you need to have in the journal, you know. You're going to be able to see your adventures, you're going to be able to select your commissions, which we're going to cover in just a second, and of course, you're going to have the adventure guide, which will show you your main quests, your side quests, your commissions, everything that you have available, and you should be kind of like trying to complete. Moving over to tip number 2, and this is probably one of the most important ones. Make sure you are always completing your commissions, guys. So every single day you have 2 commissions available. These they reward you with the highest amount of journey XP that will allow you to kind of like proceed to the next content every single day. So it's very important to complete them, but that's not the only reason why you want to do it. You see right here, complete every 4 commissions to claim extra rewards. So every second day you're going to be able to get the gems. I still call them gems because I feel like every single game calls them differently, and they should just be a universal name for it. Gems. And then, of course, you're going to get gold, and you're going to get a Starlight Stone Dice, which will give you a chance to summon an epic champion or a rare champion, kind of like get some new heroes to play around with. And you definitely don't want to miss on this because they're so rare, so make sure you're never skipping this. And on top of it, you have the side quests as well, which you don't want to ignore either. So come at the adventure guide and ignore the main quest for a moment. You have all these side quests that you can pick. So whenever you unlock a different area on the map, a new city, you're gonna find different characters that will kind of like interact with you and will offer you to pick up a side quest. Make sure you're doing it because they are very rewarding, and of course you want to boost your progression. You want to pretty much get all the rewards that you can get, especially if you are playing as free-to-play. Moving over to tip number 3. So probably right here at the camp, you've noticed that you have the forge, you have the cart, and you have the tent right here, which will allow you to level up some of your buildings in the camp. And it's very important to ensure that you're doing your cart, because this will unlock valuable resources that you can purchase. Now, one thing that I don't know just yet is how often are these things actually refreshing? Now, judging by what I've seen so far, it seems like they refresh per season, at least the very valuable resources like the Heliolite dice, like the Scholar Scroll, or once we're going to unlock cart level 6, we're going to get a Master Scroll as well. So keep an eye when you are unlocking new areas on the map, because you're going to find these scattered around the map, and you want to make sure you're going to collect them as soon as possible, just to be able to purchase the valuable rewards. Moving over to tip number 4. This is more common sense. It's kind of like a thing that you would most probably want to do, but join an alliance as soon as possible. Make sure you are joining a very active alliance as well. If your alliance is not active, just leave it and move to a different alliance, because if not, you're kind of like holding yourself back. So not only that you are unlocking the Temporal Vortex, which is kind of like the world boss, the clan boss, but you're gonna have alliance commissions as well. The more active is the alliance, the faster you're gonna complete the commissions, the more currency you're gonna get that you will be able to spend in the alliance shop. I'm daily purchasing the Starlight Stone Dice because, hey, it's gonna give me a chance to summon a new hero. So of course I'm gonna do it. The higher the level for the alliance, the more valuable resources we're gonna unlock from here. So very important to keep that in mind as well. Moving over to tip number 5. So this one is kind of like based on your own preference, but especially if you are free to play and you want to play the game more efficiently, always purchase the daily stamina. So right here, when you are doing a dungeon, you're doing something, basically, let's just head over and go to a dungeon quick and go at the goblin. So basically, when you are starting a dungeon, is using stamina. It's kind of like the energy system. And every single day, you are able to purchase stamina 4 times. Now, the very first batch that you can purchase will cost you 50 or 60 gems. I literally forgot for a second. I think it's 50 gems if I'm not mistaken. I'm always purchasing that daily. Now, I'm not going all in and purchasing the ones that cost me 100. So the second and the third will cost you 100 and the fourth will cost you 200 gems. The reason why I'm doing that is because I want to save some gems to have for summoning as well, you know. I want to have a chance at summoning legendary champions, and this is the ultimate best way to do it. Purchase only the first stamina, do it daily. Even if you're not necessarily planning to spend it straight away, it's a good investment either to get more XP for your heroes, either to get more gear, to get something done. Considering that we have all these events that are kind of like rewarding you for using stamina, is actually very, very important to make sure you're doing it. So like the Fortune Seeker right here, you just gotta beat dungeon stages, and once you're doing that, you're actually getting fairly decent rewards back. So you're basically using pretty much the same amount of stamina, maybe slightly more, to get back 120 stamina from here and 240 from here. So you're getting 360 stamina back for doing the event. Definitely worth it, plus you're getting other goodies as well. So make sure you're purchasing that stamina. The next thing that I do want to cover, guys, every time you are encountering a trader on the map, right? You might find one when you're unlocking a new location, or you're just going in and passing next to some of the traders. You can purchase from them maps, okay? So every single one of the vendors will sell you a map. Make sure you're purchasing this because they will kind of like show you the way. They will uncover different areas on the main map, and that's just gonna be pretty good to be able to see everything without stressing too much, to know exactly where you gotta go, basically. Then moving over to some different sort of tips in here. So we have tip number 7. So right here, when you are doing a fight, you might do a dungeon, you might do something where you might be struggling a bit with your team. It might not be powerful enough. So you have the cooking, right? And all those things that you're actually cooking will be consumables. And the good part about it is that all these consumables are giving you different stats, different boosts. For example, all ally heroes gain attack plus 10%. They're gaining accuracy. Some of them will give you HP, some of them will give you attack, and this is for like 600 seconds. So it will last you to do a few battles. Make sure you are using consumables before every single fight to kind of like empower your team, guys, and make the most out of it. It's super easy to get them back. You find plenty of materials on the map, super easy to create the recipes, and of course you can purchase different recipes from vendors as well, from traders. Make sure you're doing that as well, so you are able to pretty much put your hand on whatever consumable you want without having to worry that you're not going to be able to get it back if you are actually using it. Moving over to tip number 8, guys. This will be a bit more important for the majority of you guys, because everybody tends to stress too much with the elemental affinity when they're building their teams, basically. So yes, it's very important to get the elemental affinity bonus, because it's a lot of attack, defense, HP. You're getting a lot of stats from it, basically, so you don't want to miss on them. But the main thing that you need to keep in mind is that mechanics are more important than it. So when you are struggling with a particular boss or particular content, it might be because you're not bringing in the right mechanics. You might need decreased attack, you might need heal reduction, you might need a cleanse on your team. So keep an eye for that as well, and don't focus so much on elemental affinity. Especially, don't stress too much about 5 hero elemental affinity. Like, creating a 3 hero elemental affinity is fairly easy, considering that you have the main character that allows you to swap elements. So let's just say we're trying to build a team right here. So we want to kind of like focus on 3 elemental affinity and bring in the right mechanics, right? So I'm gonna bring one more hero like that. We're gonna bring that in, and we can hit the 3-star like this. We just brought in a healer, so we're pretty covered with the 3 hero elemental affinity. but we might need something else instead. So then I can bring in one Radiance to fire, and again, I've done my 3 hero elemental affinity, and I'm following the mechanics as well. Now, another thing to keep in mind, and that will be tip number 9, is team positioning. Right here, this is a pretty straightforward example. So we have one opponent, I'm placing one hero. You see the purple line shows I'm attacking him, he's attacking me. Now, when we have multiple heroes, you see we're bringing this hero in. Now, this hero has the yellow line. It shows that he's going to go and attack, she's going to go and attack the enemy, while the enemy is still focused on my first hero. And this can be vice versa for the enemy as well. And you're gonna encounter on the map all sort of different traps. You're gonna find rocks, you're gonna find walls, you're gonna find tornadoes. Click on them and see what they're doing, because some of them will help you, some of them will kind of like mess you up. So you wanna make sure you're paying attention to that. And when you are actually positioning your team, always try to bring in the tank, the crowd control hero, at the middle to kind of like get as many enemies to attack your tank, and then spread the rest of the heroes. You can always put some of them towards the back, so then all the opponents are focusing on your main one, on your main tank, instead of focusing on the other melee hero that you have right here. Or you can always move it at the back, because it's still gonna run to the desired hero more or less. It's still gonna go to the closest one, you know, unless you have one on the side. So it really depends what sort of fight you actually have. And moving over to the last tip, guys. This is tip number 10. So you have your main hero, right? And how I mentioned, you can switch the element on it. And right now I have fire on mine. Now, if I want to enhance this, I need to have the materials from the fire dungeon. And I might not be able to beat that dungeon because, hey, I don't have the right team to do it. And I can beat, for example, the ice dungeon, and I can get my materials from there, and then I can actually enhance my hero if I'm doing this trick. Basically, just go right here, switch your element. So if you switch your element, it doesn't cost you nothing. You can switch them at any time. And right now, let's just say I've beat the frost dungeon so many times that now I can actually go and enhance my hero because I have the materials. Just by doing that simple thing. And then, guess what? You can go back right here at element and switch it back to fire. So these are the top 10 best beginner tips, guys. Hopefully you guys found them helpful. Let me know in the comments down below, how are you enjoying the game so far? That was all for today's video. Much love, appreciate all of you guys watching, and I'll catch you all soon in the next video. Peace.